good evening and welcome to All About Sport. I'm Louise O'Reilly. On the show tonight I will be speaking to Peter Scanlon and Joe Lee, and they're here to tell us all about the golf classic that's taking place in Cavan. And also I am joined by Barry King, who is here all the way from Fermanagh to tell us about what's going on in Fermanagh in 2 weeks, and that's the Tour of Fermanagh cycle. So Barry, thank you very much for joining us on the show. You're very welcome.
Thanks, Louise.
You cycled all the way from Listonskee.
Not this evening,
no,
but
not this evening.
maybe next time.
So a very exciting time ahead for obviously the Listonskee Emmets, the GA club in Listonskee. This Tour of Fermanagh cycle, brilliant initiative. Tell us a little bit about it and whose idea it was to get this charity up and running.
Generally, it has came about as a fundraiser for the club. Like all other clubs, we need to keep cash flow going. We continuously need to raise funds to support development. This is a new departure for us, but I think it's one that's become fashionable, and we think it's going to work well. There are a number of ex-players in particular in our club, like a lot of GAA clubs around the country, who have turned to cycling due to too many miles on the clock after too many years playing.
Yes.
So a few of us have been enjoying leisure cycling as opposed to competitive cycling over the last few years. I think we're fortunate in that Fermanagh is a wonderful venue. It's got nice quiet roads and some great scenery. So we thought maybe it was time we stepped up to the mark and put on a leisure cycling event of our own. And this is a good opportunity and a good time to do it.
Brilliant. And this, obviously, as you said, it's the first time this Tour of Fermanagh cycle has taken place.
Yes, I mean, generally I think Fermanagh is fairly well served by competitive cycling clubs. Yeah. But as newcomers to the sport, we sort of thought that there could be more in terms of one-day events for leisure cyclists as opposed to people who want to race and compete. Yeah. We've been inspired particularly by the An Post series of leisure tours, which are enormously successful.
Yeah, they are.
And run in Sligo and Meath and all around the country, in fact. Yeah. We thought that Fermanagh deserved one, so we're doing it ourselves. Exactly.
Well, it's great when we have, and obviously so close to us here as well, so it really would serve us. And we've a lot of different events have been running around Cavan, so we just thought it'd be just fitting to have, since it's so close, Listonskee, to have you on just really highlight that, and anyone who's watching would be interested, they can get involved. So, you know, obviously tell us a little bit about your background. You are an ex-Fermanagh county man, so you've played football all your life, but now you've hung up the boots and this is your new hobby as such, or your new sport.
Yes, I retired a couple of years ago. I think that was a mutual decision between myself and the coaching staff. Yeah. I think I just reached that point in my career where, due to injuries and everything else, it was time to focus on family and other things. Yeah. But I've found cycling to be a bit of a draw. I've enjoyed it. Before that, I played for Listonskee Emmets for close to 20 years. Yeah. I played a little bit with Fermanagh as well. Yeah. I actually played against Cavan in the first round of the championship in '97.
Oh, right,
which,
okay.
Cavan people will remember fondly.
Cast our minds back.
Yes. So, yeah.
You've been at it a long time. So you find this is a nice, I suppose, a different, obviously, you know, you don't find it a lonely sport, but, you know, do you find you have a lot of friends who've taken it on as well?
Certainly not lonely, quite the opposite, in fact. Myself and some other ex-footballing colleagues would use it as a weekly social event.
Great,
we cycle in a group, and I think the opportunity to go somewhere different, particularly if it's reasonably close at hand, meet new faces, that adds to it, and it's very sociable. And I've been surprised by the number of ex-footballers we've met along the way
that are taking it on.
Hopefully, with the weekend that's in it, on the 15th and 16th of June, maybe we'll have a few ex-Cavan footballers around as well.
There you go.
They'll be more than welcome. Yeah,
and we'll chat a bit more about that later, because and when it's happening very close to that Fermanagh and Cavan game that we're all very excited about and very hopeful for here in Cavan, but only time will tell. So again, it's taken place on the 15th of June, Barry, and tell us a little bit then about the cycle itself, where it's the starting point, and the different how far people, the route and everything, and how far people can cycle.
Okay, it's on Saturday the 15th of June. Our intention is to offer 3 options to provide something for everyone, from relative newcomers to the sport of cycling, right through to experienced endurance athletes who are looking for a real challenge. So we'll start off with a 60-kilometre route, which is relatively flat. That should be manageable for most people who've done a little training.
Yeah.
All 3 routes will run pretty much simultaneously. Through the day, so they're not one after the other.
So you've got the 60-kilometre route.
In the middle then we have a 100-kilometre route, which is a bit more challenging. Will take a bit longer, obviously. And then for the people who really want to test themselves, we've got a 150-kilometre route as well. That's more taxing again. It's got some fairly strenuous climbs and should be a challenge to anyone who wants to spend a hard day out there on the bike and test themselves.
It's like, I mean, as you said, the scenery is beautiful around Fermanagh, and it's gorgeous surroundings with the lakes and everything. So where does everyone start from? I mean, is it starting from Lisnaskea?
Yeah, we're basing the event in Lisnaskea, so it will start and finish in Lisnaskea.
Right,
people who are interested can sign on right up until half an hour before the start time.
Right, okay, so people...
registration's open from 8 o'clock on the Saturday morning. The first riders will depart shortly after 9.
Okay.
And the route will take people north from Lisnaskea.
Yeah.
The shorter route will turn in Enniskillen and take a scenic route back along Benaughlan Mountain with some nice views there, through Kinawley, Derrylin and back to Lisnaskea.
Okay, right. Very nice.
The longer tours will then go further to the north, past Enniskillen to Derrygonnelly, over the mountains through Bow, into Belcoo and back through Florence Court.
Oh, that sounds really long, because I'm just thinking Belcoo and Florence Court,
No, the miles roll in faster than you would think, particularly in a large group.
Have you practiced these routes? Like, have you been working towards these routes for long, or
we've spent a good bit of time on the road since Easter, yes.
What one are you going to go for? Which one?
I'm hoping to get the bike out that day, and I'd really like to have another go at the 150 kilometre route, because it's very enjoyable, and if we get good weather, the scenery is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's important that we mention, what you're hoping to raise funds, obviously for both the Lisnaskea, it's your GA club, obviously, that you're a part of, but also for the Clonsargent Children's Cancer Society or charity. Why did you go with that charity?
A couple of reasons. We're lucky in that we have a local motorcycle club. They're called the Mad Dog Motorcycle Club. They provide an event marshalling service, a lot of events like this, and very generously in lieu of payment of expenses on the day, they have asked for a donation to Clonsargent charity. I've done some adventure racing events myself that they've organised.
Okay.
I think they're very beneficial charity, so we're more than glad to support them.
Okay, right. So obviously it's a new sport to you and you're really enjoying it, but to get the equipment, you have to have a special type of a bicycle and the right gear. What do you need, if you want to take part in this cycle?
Really, any sort of a bike will be fine. For the longer distances, we would recommend a road or a racing bike. The miles move in faster. On a racing bike, they're easier to push up the hills as well. But for relative newcomers to the sport, you certainly don't need a high-end racing bike to participate in this event.
I mean, your goal, is it to beat your time? Is that what people go out to? Is it to beat a time, or is it to win, or is every cyclist different?
I think they are. For some people, it will be sufficient challenge just to complete the event, have a good day out, and have some stories to tell. For others, they'll have a time in mind, or they'll just want to challenge themselves with some of the hilly routes that we have in store.
Very good, very good. I suppose it's important to mention some of your sponsors and people who've got involved. Barry, is there anyone you want to mention, or?
Yes, indeed. We're particularly lucky in Lisnaskea to have great support from all of the businesses in the town. I want to mention in particular 4 businesses that are our main sponsors for this event. They are McBrien's News Agent, Julie Clark Pharmacy, Swift Supermarket and Goan Butchers, all of which are on the main street in Lisnaskea. We have a number of other people who are chipping in, far too many to mention now, but we appreciate the support from them all.
Okay, that's excellent. Again, it's taking place on the 15th of June. I mean, the G8 Summit, as everyone knows, is on that particular weekend. It's kicking off that weekend, and there's been so much talk about the Fermanagh Cavan game that's taking place in Bruce Park on the 16th. Is the G8 Summit, had it affect your route at all, or did it kind of hinder any of your plans along the way?
It's certainly been a talking point. We have avoided the known areas of road closures, so not a problem there. We've taken all reasonable and necessary advice on that. We also have contingency plans in case, for example, Enniskillen is closed off on the day, albeit we're not expecting that. So regardless of what happens, we will provide all participants with the length of route that they're expecting, and any diversions, if that should occur, they shouldn't detract from the event.
Brilliant. And obviously we're very excited about the Cavan Fermanagh game, and obviously you being an ex-Fermanagh footballer, how are you feeling about that on the Sunday? How do you think Fermanagh are looking?
Well, I think everybody's talking about Cavan at the moment. They're certainly the form team, particularly with their last outing against Armagh. They were quite impressive that day. We're hoping that Fermanagh can slip through under the radar and maybe cause a bit of a surprise that day. But anyone who wants to chat about it will have plenty of time on the 15th to have a good chat and talk through that.
Exactly. So there should be a lot of people around maybe pre the match, and hopefully be around Lisnaskea on the day. What else is happening on the day? You know, if their families turn up, or is there, refreshments and things like that? Will there be something happening around the club afterwards?
We're basing it in the centre of the town. There are one or two other activities going on. The start of the event is from the Diamond, the market yard in the centre of Lisnaskea. We'll have a bit of music and a bit of a send-off for all the cyclists there. Should be a bit of a colour. A bit of colour and a bit of a spectacle for anyone who wants to come along and watch. The event will finish then in the parish hall. That's further along the main street. Generally, there'll be a bit of a buzz and a bit of activity going on the day. There's also a fair, some market stalls, food fair, I believe, going on in the market yard after we leave. So plenty going on around that time of year.
So it'll be a great day out for everybody. If it's a day like this, and it's very hot out there today, will there be different kind of stalls and stops along the road for the cyclists to rehydrate, or how would that all work on the day?
Absolutely. We want to give people absolutely a good day out. The entry fee covers mechanical support. We'll have roving mechanics in case anyone gets a puncture or has a mechanical breakdown. Obviously first aid will be there. We'll also have more than enough refreshment and food stops. So we want to keep everyone in good shape on the way around, and as I say, give everyone a good day out and something to talk about afterwards.
Great. And I just need to know, how is Colin McCaffrey? How's his training going?
Collie's been keeping under the radar on this, but our spies tell us he's clocking up the miles, and he's going fairly well and showing good form. Oh,
he's practising all the time, I hear. So Collie, you're watching your every move. Can't get away with anything. But Barry, thank you very much for taking time to come in and speak to us here on All About Sport. And just supposed to recap for all our viewers, that this is taking place on June 15th, and get yourselves down to Lisnaskea, where the Tour of Fermanagh Cycle is, and you can check out their Facebook page, check out our Twitter page, and you'll find more information there. And you also do you have a website as well, Barry?
Yes, Lisnaskea Emmet's website, also Facebook page. It's simply Tour of Fermanagh, so you should find it. If anyone wants to register in advance, which would be good, you can bag yourself a free Tour of Fermanagh t-shirt, and make sure to get your place on the day by registering in advance. Details of that are on the Facebook page.
Excellent. Well, we wish you the very best of luck, and thanks again for coming on the show. So we're going to take a short break, but stay with us, and we'll be back with more information on the Golf Classic that's coming up very soon.